kid back in school that just didn't know how to play. Let's say y'all going back and forth, throwing licks, hitting each other, and all of a sudden it'll get too serious because that kid will hit you in the arm too hard, and now you ready to fight because you got a stinger on your arm, but you knew homie could also jack. He was the type of dude that'd get serious, but he could back it up. Remember when you be checking this dude back in the day? He started with you. Y'all go back and forth. It's all fun and games. And then he throw a your mama joke your way. And again, you ready to jack. But then you know, oh, he can fight. 50 Cent is that kid. The only problem is 50 Cent is a 40-something-year-old grown man. And he still acts that exact same way as that kid that you did not want to fight in school. We know 50 Cent has had problems with a lot of rappers, a lot of New York rappers specifically, including Ja Rule, but not limited to Ja Rule. One other rapper that it looks like 50 Cent has had his somewhat problems with, sometimes it looks friendly, sometimes it doesn't, is Jim Jones. All right? Now, here's my thing. 50 Cent and Jim Jones, they go back and forth. Usually it starts out friendly. A lot of times 50 Cent will throw a jab at Jim Jones about not looking the part in the gym, and then Jim Jones would be like, come on, you know, I'll give you these hands. We could box it out. We could duke it out. Then someone will bring up their rap records and their rap catalog. It'll go from there, and then all of a sudden it gets personal. Somebody calls somebody a clown. Somebody calls somebody a rat. Somebody calls somebody a snitch. And all the gloves are off. Now it's serious. All right, now we passed the yo mama joke stage. We ready to get it on. That's what usually happens between these two rappers way before social media, but it's also lingered over into the social media era. And when Jim Jones' name got brought up in Tekashi 6ix9ine's testimony, did you really think 50 Cent was going to let that good content go to waste? Now, Tekashi 6ix9ine, for 3 days, stood in front of a grand jury and testified that the non-trade gang was a group of bad people, essentially, that did bad things to a lot of people. He don't want to do 47 years, so he ratted on everybody. He even ratted on members of the non-trade gang that maybe are not as active. He was asked about Jim Jones. Was he a member of the non-trade set? Is he a rapper? What's his affiliation? All that good stuff. And one answer that Tekashi gave the grand jury was that, yeah, he's affiliated. He's also a retired rapper. 50 Cent thought that was funny. 50 Cent also thought the notion of maybe Jim Jones being the snitch or an informant that helped put the non-trade gang away was also hilarious. He posted about both of these things on his social media account. Now, most people out there with common sense would know that that's not funny. We're talking about somebody's livelihood. You're putting that snitch title on somebody. You know what that could do to a person. People get killed over that stuff. But 50 Cent doesn't care. Oh, does 50 Cent not care? That energy lingered over. You could tell Jim Jones was offended by it. And in his recent interview with The Breakfast Club, he was asked about his relationship with one rapper, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson.
50 Cent. Somebody asked me the other day, was like, yo, what's up with 50 Jim? I was like, they just playing. What, you and 50, is that
Some
fun?
of those jokes are a little too much.
Some of them jokes are a little
I don't know
far.
if this is real or not.
I wish I could be in a position to really say what I want to say, but unfortunately, my life has been hectic in this past month. You know what I mean? But where I'm from, I do know people that we call real niggas or stand-up men, we don't try to tarnish other people's name by doing bullshit antics. There's consequences and repercussions for certain things like that. You know what I mean? Like, from where I'm from. So, I'll leave it at that. But for the most part, everybody know my life is real. I've been doing this for way too long for anybody to play with me and shit like that. But, you know, some people think life is a game, so we leave it like that.
You know, when you slap box, sometimes it gets out of hand, right? It starts off with slap boxing, but then a lot of the times it turns into a real fight. So
That's all good.
that's how it is, you know what I'm saying?
But
it could be playful, but at the
So clearly things got out of hand between Jim Jones and 50 Cent. Once again, 50 Cent talking about Jim Jones' situation, knowing that this man could possibly face some fair time over all this Tekashi 6ix9ine. I mean, 50 Cent knows he doesn't care. He wanted that content for his Instagram account, and everybody doesn't think it's too funny. Now, 50 Cent, like I said, he is the capitalizer of content. And you thought he was going to let what Jim Jones said on The Breakfast Club just go to waste? Oh, no, not Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. He had to get a little bit of that response in as he was on his way to Texas for a meet and greet.
I'm so afraid of Ja Rule, Jim Jones, and Freaky that I'm hiding out in Texas. Please, whatever you do, Don't tell him I'm in San Antonio. Don't tell him I'm staying at the Four Seasons. Don't tell him, please, don't tell him, man, because there's just so much pressure on me right now. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid, man. Don't tell him I'm at Specs. Hey.
Yeah, he's on.
So anybody with eyes know what 50 Cent was saying. He was being very sarcastic. He's letting Jim Jones, Ja Rule, or anybody else who doesn't like him know, you know where I'm at. I'm not hiding my whereabouts. If you need to get at me. I'm a street nigga. I'm not too hard to find. That's what 50 Cent is saying. And whether that's true or not, look, that's above my pay grade. But he's saying, look, man, it's not like I'm hiding. If you really got problems with me, I'm not scared of you guys. I'm not hiding anywhere. I got a job. I got responsibility, obligations, meet and greets. I'm out here in the streets. You could find me if you needed to. 50 Cent is letting it be known to the public that he's not afraid of Jim Jones or anyone else, but he did it sarcastically. And the only way he could do it, the 50 Cent way. The irony in this is I believe Tekashi 6ix9ine, if you look at some of the antics that he was a part of during his rap career that maybe will continue soon, I think he mimicked a lot of 50 Cent. Like, I look at what 50 Cent does now. Like, if he had social media back in the 90s and 2000s in the midst of all the drama when it was really real in the streets for him, could you imagine the content that we would have gotten? I think Tekashi tried to mimic guys like 50 Cent in 2018 and 19. Here's the problem. 50 Cent reportedly is about that life for real, or at some point in his life was about that life for real. We obviously have found out that Tekashi was not. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment box below. Jim Jones and 50 Cent, man, I'm telling you, if you beef with 50 Cent, you're gonna beef with him forever. In Cardi B's voice. I thank you guys so much for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I'm out.
I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids, they
tuned in. We locked in right now, Mr. Taliaferro.
Mr. Taliaferro.
Shout out to Mr. Taliaferro.
You watching Mr. Taliaferro TV.
Mr. Taliaferro TV.